So I'm going to be very honest and transparent. I don't even know why I decided to do this video, but I wanted to utilize this time to reflect on some things here. You may or may not notice this building right behind me, and to some of you this video is not going to matter. So I wanted to use this time again to reflect on a couple of things. This building that you see right behind you, that used to be my college. I attended the school here in New Paltz. I attended a 4-year school beginning at the fall of 2008. And when I started, I didn't know exactly what I was walking into. I was just this random kid that just happened to walk into school one day. Didn't know any of the students. It just felt pretty odd walking into the building for the first time, not knowing what I want from my first and second year. And then when I got into my second to third year, I started to have a slight idea what I think I wanted to do. So I started to go into communications and media. One of the reasons being because I'm very active. To some degree, I like television, so that's one of the things that I like to do. In my various videos and vlogs and pictures that you may have seen me post, you see me involved in all these different activities, whether if it was music, whether it was through my church, whether it was through high school. I attended church, I sang in the choir, I did all these various things. And I think that's what got me involved in wanting to check out this program and wanting to inquire what this program was about. There were a wide variety of different classes in this particular field, media and productions, working with filming. I didn't understand the terminologies, and a lot of this stuff was very complex. And I will be honest and transparent and say that during my junior to senior year, I didn't even realize how much work it actually takes for the person to actually do all these things, be behind the camera and the production, working the sound and working the camera, and to be able to have and utilize public speaking skills. Those are one of the things that I had issues with in the past, is my speech patterns, and to be able to come across, to be able to speak, to be able to present myself. And that's one of the challenges that I've experienced. So, long story short, I did graduate in the Bachelor of Arts program back in August of 2013, and I utilized some of those skills. Unfortunately, I didn't land my niche, so I ended up using some of my skills. I was able to get a little bit of hands-on with editing, and I was still active doing things for a while, singing in the choirs, doing music programs and things like that. Coming here on a regular basis to kind of get nostalgia and to reacquaint with some of my fellow students, my friends, before they left. So I wanted to come here and use this time to reflect. And as I'm walking, you can see all these different changes that they made to the buildings here. These are all the dormitories. So I'm kind of sort of just walking around to check and see the few changes that they made to these buildings. And so again, going off tangent, like I said, I know this video is not going to matter to some of you, but to the few people that are watching this, especially all of you younger guys, those that are about to graduate high school and enter to the real world, if you want to decide to come to institutions like this, or whether you have other plans to pursue life afterwards, just to give you guys a little bit of somewhat of wisdom here, whatever it is that you decide to read and study, make sure that you have an idea or know what it is that you do read or study, because once you enter out these four walls, there's going to be all sorts of things coming out. There's going to be there's going to be challenges that you're going to have to endure and face. But just know over time, if you're very persistent and you stay on the right track, things will eventually pay off. I will share this. Back in 2013, or actually mid-2014 when I graduated, I started working my first job. And during my first couple of months, it's been actually a year, I was a data entry typist, and I actually liked that job, but then I fell through some hardships. Basically, I left school with no money and no way to support myself, and it brought me in a very low place for a while because I thought I knew what I wanted, And actually, come to find out, it turns out that I didn't know exactly what I wanted, so I ended up doing a variety of different things just to see where I fit in terms of the work spectrum. I go to say all of this because I want you guys to know that there's going to be all sorts of stuff, and there's going to be some things that you're going to bump into. One of those things are going to be financial hurdles. I see a lot now that people are taking out loans in order to finish up their studies. One of the things that I will be worried about, and I had to learn this lesson the hard way, and some of the people are kind of still experiencing this right now, and it's unfortunate, but there comes a time where you're going to bump into some hurdles when it comes to financial hurdles. If you're taking out loans to finish up your classes, just be worried on how much you take out, because eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have to pay some of that back. I think it's safe to say that most of us, people between 18 to 35, I feel as if, just my personal stance from what I've seen so far, I think we fell into this trap. And I think what happens is we were, how do you say, there's a term I'm trying to look for. We were conditioned to kind of further our education out of high school. And so, like I said, there's some of us that think that we knew what we wanted, and it turns out that we actually don't, because changes are always constantly happening. As we get older, our interests tend to change. So we find ourselves doing a wide variety of different things. So again, I know this video may not reach a lot of people, but if it does reach at least one person, I know I've done my job. I just wanted to inspire someone that's watching this video to know that you're not alone in this situation. And if you know what you want to do, please do your best to pursue it. If you are someone that's still trying to figure out what you want to do in life, please be advised that it will take a lot of time and it will take a lot of experiences. I know this because I'm still going through this right now. So just don't give up and keep on going. And, you know, don't stop, and just keep with the faith. So again, just a little side note, if you guys really want to know how I got into video vlogging and how I started my YouTube account and made all those videos that you saw, this is part of how I got started here. All of this right here, this is kind of what inspired me to do videos in the first place. There were a wide variety of different programs that took place on campus. One of those things that you see, probably you saw doing karaoke and things like that. All these programs on campus, there's programs that were run by student association. You've seen some of those videos on my YouTube. I kind of wanted to put this out there to air all the positive things that were going on in the community. So it was kind of my way to branch out and utilize my talents. So just a little side note there. There's my old dormitory over there. That's where I used to live, folks. I used to live right in this dormitory. I was in the second floor my first year. I moved to the basement my second to third or fourth year. I'm gonna be honest, I feel totally weird being on this campus. I don't even know who these students are. They look like very new faces. I guess is the downside of getting older is that you don't really know a lot of people that come to this campus. So I think this pretty much concludes my video for right now. As you can, by now you can already tell, I've been on the shelf for quite a while. I think it's been about maybe 3 or 4 years since I last stepped foot into this campus. I've been on a huge hiatus for a while. But there will come a point within this next year or two that eventually every now and then you may see videos of me coming onto this college campus. There are programs and activities that I might get a little snapshots and video clips and things like that. So please be on the lookout for those kind of videos. You may see that at some point within this next year.